But then at McKen, it worked out very good. Like we had a good chat, and then he also asked me what my passion is, what are things I believe I'm not good at or I could like get help with, because he also wanted to know like my weaknesses.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm here with my next guest, Fabienne. We're going to discuss her experiences for her minor and her internship, which were both in Germany. Thank you, Fabi, once again with sharing your minor experiences.
You're welcome.
Now we are going to continue with the internship, which you did in Düsseldorf, right?
That's right.
Perfect. Can you first start with telling me, did you do your internship first or second?
First I did the internship.
And do you think that this was the better choice, starting first with your internship?
Yes, definitely, because I earned money at my internship, so I could like lay the money a little to the side for my minor abroad to have like a little more free space for my search for my apartment or for like in general the stay in Hamburg.
Mm-hmm. How did you decide where to do your internship?
Um so I knew I'm like interesting in the marketing perspective. That's why I also study marketing management at the Fontes, but I was like interested in like going a little behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
For example, how do like people produce those like advertising videos? How does it look on set? I was like super curious in that kind of like specific area. So I thought, why not look for an internship also in that niche?
Yeah, perfect. What company did you had for your internship?
So I did my internship at McKen,
Mhm.
which is a marketing agency in Düsseldorf.
And what position did you have there?
So I was in three different areas. I was in new business, in the consulting area, and strategy. So I altered a little
That
around the different positions.
that's nice. Can you tell me a bit more about each of those?
Yeah,
What
of course.
were actually they for?
So strategy was like a little more analytic, a lot of KPIs managed,
Yeah.
our favorite. So that was, I need to admit, my least favorite
Mm-hmm.
area where I got to like look a little further into.
I can imagine why, honestly.
And then new business was like, okay, how do we get new customers for our company? How do we attract new customers? And then also like the first like pitches for customers
Mm-hmm.
why they should choose McKen as like an advertising company. And then consulting was basically also all about the consumers. Consulting personally for me was the most interesting because I got to go on video productions. I got to go on set. I got to work with influencers.
That's nice.
So that was like for me the most interesting because you have one-on-one talks with like the customers. You get to know from them, okay, what are their needs, what do they want.
So if you prefer something where you have more connection with
Mm,
people, consulting is the right one.
definitely, I think consulting is not the area I was working in. Obviously, the name was consulting, but I think it was like more. I personally think the name doesn't fit to that area because it was like so much more.
More. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
How did you prepare for your internship? Here we talk
um,
about interviews, applying, getting both physically and mentally ready.
um, so first off, I remember I was talking with my family,
Mm-hmm.
asking for advice. I was watching videos like crazy on YouTube. What's the perfect interview talk? How do you dress? How do you like articulate yourself? What do you say? Um, and I remember I sat down with my best friend in my room and we tried to like interview each other because I was so nervous.
That's so helpful, actually. I've done the same.
I was so nervous to actually talking and doing an interview, and I was like, oh my god, what happens if you like say the wrong answer? What happens if the answer they don't like it? And but in the end, it's not. I mean, preparation was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good. But I was like, be yourself, Fabi. Like, don't try. Obviously, you want that job. Like, I was like fire for that job, but like, I didn't want to change myself. So I was like, okay, don't try to find like an answer they want to hear, but rather something they might want to hear a little, but also something that's you.
That comes from you, yeah.
Yeah.
And how did the interview go then? Was it good?
It went actually pretty good. I remember a few questions. Should I share them?
Yeah, of course.
I remember one question was, what's your perfect day? When do you get up? And I remember I had a total of 2 interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I applied at a company which I thought was interesting, but I remember McKen. McKen was my first choice. I wanted to go to McKen. But the other one was like, I remember our PPD coach also said, hey, do something for practice. Even you need a plan B. What happens if plan A doesn't work?
Of course.
Um, so I remember the interview at McKen. It was perfect. We had like a good talk. I remember him asking me, "Hey, what's your perfect day?" Actually, both interviews were asking me what's my perfect day.
So that's a common question.
And that's a
Yeah.
common question. How does your perfect day look like? Are you like an athlete? Do you like to wake up early? Do you like to like sleep in?
So this question is more regarding your personal life, everyday life, rather than your perfect day at work.
Yeah, he was
Okay,
in
yeah.
general like and then I remember McKen, I was like myself. I was like, okay, Fabi, be yourself. This is going super. You're getting this. And I remember at my second company, I lied a little. And then I was like a little like, whoop, sorry.
Yeah.
I was like a little not over dramatic, but I was like, I like to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I like to go for a run. Like, obviously, he was like,
Obviously not.
But then I met Ken. It worked out very good. Like we had a good chat, and then he also asked me what my passion is. What are things I believe I'm not good at, or I could like get help with, because he also wanted to know like my weaknesses, and he was asking me about my strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah, so basically common questions that
Yeah.
they ask on most of the interviews. Can you tell me how your first days in that company went like? What were your first thoughts?
Yes, I remember my first day wasn't actually the best. Well, I was very passionate about this internship and I really wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but obviously there weren't as many people in my age. And I was like, okay, Fabi, they were very welcoming and they were like, okay, sit with us during lunchtime. They were very, very, very nice, but it those weren't like my friends. So I was like, okay, I'm the new one. I'm like a little left out. But then we had multiple buildings, and I remember I want to be part of the La Roche-Posay team. So I was changing buildings, and then in the new building, they were a lot of like younger people. Actually, I made friends there. I'm still in contact with 2 guys of them.
That's very nice.
And one of them was actually younger than I. He was
Interesting.
19.
Wow.
He was just done with school. And then the other one, he's a little older, but he is very funny, very nice. He had like this little office dog, so I always got to go out with her. And
So they allow pets there?
yeah,
Oh, that's very nice.
a lot of people brought their dogs. Actually, we had like a whole dog farm at some point because everyone brought like their dog to work.
Oh, that sounds very
Um,
unique for a company. It's nice.
but referring back
Yeah.
to the first day, yeah, I was like, I wasn't lonely physical because I had people around me and they were, as I mentioned, super nice. But like
You just
in
feel
my
that
heart,
you're not there.
yeah,
Can you say if it was hard to integrate in the company?
I think it's like depending on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said it earlier. I believe like at first, if you get to meet me, I'm a little more introverted. I'm like I like to like observe and then talk.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's not bad just to let go, just to talk to people, be like, "Oh, do you want to sit next to me during lunch? Do you want to grab some lunch?" Um so yeah.
Basically depends from person
Yeah.
to person. But they're not close, they're not cold with you, they welcome you well.
Yeah.
Okay. How was the team? What interactions did you had with them?
The team was so funny. They were hilarious. We had in our break time always basketball competitions.
Oh,
um,
you had
we
a basketball field there?
we didn't have a
Ah,
basketball
okay.
field, but
Okay.
we build out of like
Mm-hmm.
paper or
Yeah.
straws. I don't even know what they used.
Creative.
Like a small
Mm-hmm.
mini basket, and we like crunched up some paper and tried to throw it. And we actually had a team celebration at the end of last year. It was a Christmas party, and the theme was barbecue, referring to Barbie, the movie which came out,
Okay.
and everyone had to dress up either as Barbie or Ken.
How did you dress up?
Barbie.
Of course.
Pink.
Uh-huh. Pink. Perfect.
And everyone also they were like into the motto. They took it very serious.
That's nice.
And it was so much fun. Also, talking to like I was talking to the CEO. I was talking to a lot of people who have like higher positions, but they were not at all looking down to people. They were like one on one being like, okay, we're all on the same level, and they were so nice, so human. They were so funny. I was a great. It was great.
That was actually my next questions
Oh.
about your experience with the managers and the people above you.
Mm.
So it's very nice that they're down to earth people and they treat you with respect.
So we had like different manager, like I had a different manager obviously for a new business, for consulting, for strategy, but we also went to grab lunch with our managers. We were like, it was like a whole, basically like a friend group.
That's nice. Moving on to the part from your internship, which is a bit more related with Fontes. Can you tell me what was your research topic for the final report?
Oh yeah, that was referring to AI and how AI is used in marketing companies and how the future of AI looks in marketing companies.
How did you come up with that topic?
I was like talking to not my manager, but the person who interviewed me, who like a little like he took me,
Under his wing?
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And he was like, "Oh, okay." So I was like talking to him, saying like, "Oh, I need to write like a research report. Do you have ideas for interesting topics?" And he was like, "Oh, well, in our company, it's all about AI at the moment. How AI can help us, how it's like developing." And he's like, "Oh, we have a person who is like focused on this topic. Do you want to have a chat with him just to see if you're interested in the topic? If you're not, like, there were multiple other questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had a chat with him. Um, he also helped me throughout my research report.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had any questions, I could like go to him, and I just thought it was super super interesting, super like diverse. So yeah.
So the company helped you a bit with
Yeah.
the topic. That's nice. But did they give you space and enough access to the information you
Mm,
needed for this?
definitely. I got so much help from them. Also, I remember, for example, like as an internship, you don't always have a not job, but like in activity, like during your day to day routine, and sometimes you sit there and like wait for another activity or your manager that he gives you something. So my managers always came to me and was like, okay, look, Fabi, if you don't have anything to do right now, take like an hour, take 1.5 hours, go to the lounge, sit there and write your research report. So they were,
Very understanding.
yeah.
That's really nice. Did you have any time to explore the city? I mean, you were already from Düsseldorf, so let me rephrase my question. Did you had time to go out and still maintain your personal life?
Yes. Referring like to the company, first off, during lunch breaks, we always went out. We never stayed in. We always went to the Karlsplatz to grab there some lunch. It's like a little place with different
Mm-hmm.
markets and like fresh food. So it's like
Yeah.
it's great for like lunch, and also after work people grabbed some drinks or just like hang out, like had a little get together. I personally need to say I was very tired at the beginning because I was working till 6 p.m. So I was very very tired after work. But if you get like in the
I- Yeah, in the habit of all
in the
that.
habit,
Yeah,
yeah, then I went with them like a couple of times, but I had to like to get in the habit. But then it
it's
was
fine.
yeah. Also had enough time for friends and to grab some dinner with friends. So
Perfect. You're from Düsseldorf, so I will use this in my advantage a bit and ask you some questions about the city. If I would like to go to Düsseldorf, let's say for my internship, can you tell me how does it feel to be in the city?
well, I personally need to say I think Dusseldorf has changed a lot during the years. Um, I mean it's very very international in Dusseldorf, but I just have the feeling I don't know, to be honest, if I would recommend Dusseldorf as an internship. Because it's a great city, but I mean, Dusseldorf doesn't have so much, how do you say, like, so much to give someone? Like, to.
Yeah, that's basically how you
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say it.
Um, it, like, I wouldn't say it gets a little boring, but I mean, it has great, great food spots, but except from that. I'm personally only like in the city if I need to buy something
Mm-hmm.
or if I grab lunch, but otherwise, I'm not.
You stayed at home there. Do you think if I want to find an accommodation,
Mhm.
it would be hard for me?
I'm actually not sure of that. Maybe because Dusseldorf, it has like a lot of like new buildings, new apartments which are built, but I just have the feeling Dusseldorf doesn't have like the space for people to get at the moment like an apartment because it's like very very tight, very built in together. Um, I mean, if you would like to look for an apartment, not Dusseldorf center, but like around the surroundings, there wouldn't be like a problem. But if you want to have a apartment, city center, I guess it would be very hard.
Compared to other cities in Germany, is Düsseldorf expensive or not that much?
It depends which cities you compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think like Hamburg, Munich, I guess also Berlin, like the big cities, obviously they're more expensive. But I think for the Düsseldorf is not a big city, and for that I think it's quite expensive.
Okay. So you shared a bit more about the city itself, Düsseldorf, but let's go back to the topics regarding the internship. Uh, I'm curious how it all went down when the end was again approaching. But before that, I have one more question for you. It's again about the internship. Do you think that as a German speaking person, you had some kind of advantage when the company was recruiting you?
Ooh, that's also a very hard question. To be honest, I'm actually not sure if that was an advantage that I was speaking German, because they had a lot of international co-workers. Like everyone could speak English, or like everyone could speak English plus another language. Obviously, for the location Düsseldorf, it was an advantage speaking German, but I guess with like customers who are like a little more international, that doesn't matter if you speak German or any other language.
Was the main language that was spoken in the company German?
Yes.
How did the internship conclude?
I had a very not rough ending, but I remember my last position I worked in was strategy. And I remember I had a total of 10 holidays, or 8. I don't remember, like between 8 or 10. And I never did holidays during my internship. So my chef came to me at one day and was like, Fabi, look, you need to take your holiday days, which is like necessary. Like you can't just like step them out or anything. So towards the end, I took all of my holidays because I didn't take them while I was like in the company. So I had like a rough ending because I didn't really get to say goodbye to everyone. Like I got to say goodbye, but then some were in office, some were in home office. So it was like
a little sad moment there.
Yeah.
What did you learn during this internship?
A lot. Where do I start? I learned to be definitely more independent. I learned teamwork. Like a lot of, like I knew I liked teamwork also like in my studies at the Fontes, but during my internship it was clear how important teamwork is, and that you can't like work alone, and you're dependent on the work of others. And what else did I learn? Communication, like communicating with your whole team, because if you have like a video shooting, you can't do something for yourself. You have like a whole schedule where everything is like timed, and it's like very on the second or on the minute timed. And you need to speak to the whole team. You need to communicate, okay, what are the next procedures, what are the next steps. You need to be like very transparent in the company. So yeah.
So what always Fontis says to us, that teamwork and communication is a key. You also saw that in real life while working there.
Definitely, yeah.
That's nice. Were you looking forward to finishing the internship?
Yes and no. Obviously, it was a great experience. And I, just as my minor in my internship, I met a lot of new people, very nice people I'm still in contact. But obviously, it's like your internship, it's a very different like time frame than like studying. I guess like you have a little more free time while studying, and I need to admit I had more or I have more time for my friends and for my family um when I'm studying and when I'm here at the Fontes in comparison to when you work and you do your internship.
Then we shouldn't complain about university.
Definitely not. We have
Okay.
so much free time.
Let's say I'm interested in the same topics as you. Would you recommend me these positions that you had, the company, and everything overall?
I would definitely recommend McKen. McKen is a great, great place, a great company to do your internship. You learn a lot. But if I would have to do my internship again, I got like the privilege, let's call it like that I get to like sneak peek into 3 areas. But for me, I know now I like the consulting and the hey, I want to work um with the customers one on one. I wouldn't do strategy again personally because I know for
Yeah.
myself, okay, what I like and what I don't like, or where I'm good at, where I'm not so good at. So, yeah, I would like before doing an internship really think about, okay, do you want to like sneak peek in different areas and be like, okay, I'll take something from every different um area with me, or be like, okay, I want to focus on this specific job.
And are there any more recommendations you could share?
Be open. Definitely be open. Um Not in terms for my Ken, but in general,
Mm-hmm.
for the internship, don't apply only for one company. Have backup plans. It's always good to know where you want to go. Like I knew for myself, I want to go to an advertising agency, so I didn't have to look at different job descriptions. I knew I wanted this and that. But definitely have like backup plans. Have like also just for the experience, just to have like a job interview for the experience. It's great, and be open to the team, be open to the managers, and it's definitely good for being connected. For example, for LinkedIn or anything,
Yeah.
it's a great opportunity. Yeah.
So be prepared and be open.
Yeah.
With that, my questions have come to an end. Thank you for this whole conversation. Thank you for sharing your minor experiences, for your internship as well. We can say that there are better places than Düsseldorf, and Hamburg was amazing.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. So, yeah, also thank you for all the pictures, your time, and the whole atmosphere that we had during our talk.
Well, you're very welcome. I have to thank.
That was for this episode. Stay tuned for the next one.